Yeah, Lara, how much are you worried as a defense attorney about this community response that's out there in terms of if its ability to infect the jury? And what kind of arguments, when you're up before the jury, either in opening or closings, are you going to try to hammer to get them to see this as do the right thing? And my last question, answer either one in any order if you wish. Um, when you have the facts, you pound the facts. When you have the law, you pound the law. If you don't have anything, you pound both. But there are some nuances in this law that's tricky. And the facts of that video with him on George Floyd's neck is just not a pretty picture. So are you going to really attack the law as a defense attorney and try to confuse them? Because the law is somewhat confusing.
Starting with the first question, of course, as defense attorney, I'm going to be worried about all this attention. You've got protesters, the potential jury, and eventually the jury that's going to be selected is going to be definitely impacted by these protesters. Imagine walking into a courtroom, having all these protesters right outside the door or close enough where you could hear them screaming, protesting. Just imagine the tension, the pressure on this jury to convict, and knowing that whatever their decision may be, these people, someone's going to be judging them. You did it right or you got it wrong. So it's a lot of pressure on anyone. I mean, these are going to be 12 jurors that don't even know one another. So the jurors don't have family members or people who are supporting them next to them saying, oh, you did the right thing. They have to talk to strangers, be with strangers for weeks on, and eventually come to a decision. And one of the things that you could do during voir dire is remind the jurors. I mean, they've got a job. They've got, and someone's life. Someone has passed. It's a tragedy, but someone else. They have to decide if this person did the right thing or did the wrong thing, guilty or not guilty. And they need to put emotions aside. They need to put the outside pressure aside. They are there to decide the case on the facts, not on emotions, not on visceral gut feelings, not on what the media says, not on what the protesters are saying and screaming about, but not even what their family's saying, not what their neighbors will say and what they'll think of them when they are done with this case.
Yeah.
But what is right? They need to be able to go back home when this is over and not regret their decision. It has to be a decision made on the facts and only the facts that are presented to them, evidence presented to them in the courtroom, period.
Absolutely. That's the standard. But with social media and the kind of attention a case like this gets on one side or the other, that becomes much harder for the judge to be able to accomplish in the jury selection. We shall see, because that hopefully will be starting tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break here on the Law and Crime Network, but we'll have more on the other end. Stay with us, please.